Picture this. You're finally sitting at the closing table for your absolute dream home. Or maybe you're finalizing a massive business acquisition that has literally taken months to put together. The contracts are signed, the hands are shaken, and now there's just one thing left to do. You need to move a massive amount of money, and you need to do it right now. Well, this definitely isn't the time for trial and error. Welcome to this explainer where we are going to unlock exactly how to seamlessly send a wire transfer with Truist Bank. When you're dealing with really high-stakes transactions, the anxiety can be pretty palpable. You don't just want to hope your money arrives. You need absolute, ironclad certainty. Mastering the wire transfer process with Truist is your ultimate, reliable solution for this. It gives you the power to move mountains of money instantly and securely, which, let's face it, is an indispensable skill to have in modern banking. Okay, here is exactly what we're going to cover in this explainer today. 1. An intro to wire transfers. 2. Truist wire services. 3. A step-by-step guide. 4. Essential tips. 5. Troubleshooting. And finally, 6. Pro tips. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, an intro to wire transfers. Let's establish what this actually is and why it's so critical. The contrast here is actually super striking. I mean, we all use apps like Zelle or standard ACH transfers for everyday stuff, right? But take a look at the limitations. Zelle within Truist is strictly capped at a maximum of $2,000 a day. That is perfect for splitting a dinner bill, sure, but entirely useless for buying a house. On the flip side, wire transfers are the absolute heavy lifters of the financial world. They utilize the Fedwire network domestically or the SWIFT network internationally to provide guaranteed, irrevocable, and often same-day settlement. So once that wire is sent, the money is there, and the deal is done. Moving right along to Section 2, Truist Wire Transfer Services. Let's see how those basics build into the specific rules, fees, and limits that you're going to encounter. So the crucial point here is knowing your costs up front. Let's talk dollars and cents. If you need a Truist teammate to help you out with an outgoing domestic wire, say over the phone or down at the branch, it's a $30 fee. Sending it internationally, that jumps to $65. Now, if you are on the receiving end, it's $15 for domestic and $20 for international. But it is absolutely worth noting that if you have a Truist One checking account, you get one no-fee incoming wire per calendar month, which is pretty great. And premium accounts like Truist Marquee Checking or Wealth Money Market, they often see these fees waived entirely. Timing is absolutely everything. If you want your domestic wire to clear that exact same business day, 6 p.m. Eastern Time is the absolute final daily cutoff time you need to memorize. If you hit submit at 6:01 p.m. or try to send it on a weekend or bank holiday, your transfer simply gets bumped to the very next business day. And when it comes to capacity for digital transfers initiated through online banking or the Truist mobile app, $500,000 is your rolling maximum limit over a 3-business-day window. For most of us, $500,000 is plenty of runway, but it's a vital ceiling to keep in mind. Okay, Section 3, the step-by-step wire guide. We're getting into the real meat of the explainer now, walking through exactly how to make sure your money gets where it needs to go without a single hitch. How you actually send the wire depends heavily on your relationship with Truist. You generally have 2 paths, a web-based portal or customer service reps. Standard retail clients usually can't send outgoing wires via digital self-service. They have to use a teammate-assisted path by going into a branch or calling in. But if you're a wealth or premier client, you unlock those digital self-service pathways right inside your online banking portal. Now, if you do have that digital access, you can't just log in and instantly send a wire on day one. You actually have to navigate to Transfer and Pay and select Enroll in Wire Services first. To ensure bulletproof security, Truist requires you to set up dual authorization. This means you must register and verify 2 distinct phone numbers before you even get to see the send button. It's a minor hurdle, sure, but it prevents major fraud. Honestly, taking a moment to set this up well before your deadline is going to save you so much stress later on. Once you're fully enrolled, you have to gather these exact details from your recipient. I know, tracking down all these numbers can kind of feel like a scavenger hunt, but guessing is just not an option here. You need their full legal name, the physical address of their bank, their account number, and the 9-digit ABA routing number for domestic transfers. Going international, you'll need their IBN or SWIFT code. And hey, if someone is wiring money to your Truist account, you'll need to give them Truist Universal Wire Routing Number, which is 06100000104. If it's coming from overseas, Truist Swift code is BRBT US33. Pivoting over to Section 4, Essential Tips and Considerations. To ensure your transfer doesn't get bounced, delayed, or hit with unexpected fees, you really need to pay attention to these next few nuances. You've got to remember that not all wires are created equal. While domestic wires executed before that 6 p.m. cutoff are incredibly fast and settled the same day, international wires are an entirely different beast. Because they route through the massive global SWIFT network, they require complex intermediary compliance checks. You really need to set your expectations and plan for an international wire to take anywhere from 3 to 5 business days to fully settle. Because of those delays, you should always initiate transfers on business days, completely avoiding weekends and holidays. Plus, if you're sending foreign currency, Truist might apply a foreign exchange markup of up to 3% above the wholesale rate. And on top of that, intermediary correspondent banks might actually skim their own processing fees right off the top before the funds even reach the final destination. This means your recipient might get slightly less than what you originally sent, which is absolutely vital to account for if you're paying an exact invoice. Section 5. Troubleshooting common wire issues. Typing out a massive SWIFT code or IBAN is pretty nerve-wracking, so here is exactly what to do if things happen to go wrong. The most common pitfalls we see are just simple typos and routing numbers. Even one single wrong digit is going to cause the receiving bank to reject the wire, sending it all the way back and delaying your transaction by days. Another frequent issue is hitting that $500,000 rolling 3-day limit without realizing it, or simply trying to move funds at, say, 7 p.m. on a Friday, which just automatically delays the whole process until Monday. Now, if a transfer gets stuck, or if you're a standard account holder who needs to initiate a wire over the phone, pick up and call 844-487-8478 immediately. When you do call, make sure you have your secure PIN ready to go, because the automated system and the reps will definitely need it to authenticate your identity before discussing or moving a single cent of your funds. Finally, bringing it home with Section 6, Pro Tips for Efficient Wires. For our seasoned users and business owners out there, let's talk about optimizing this whole process and potentially saving you some serious money. If you're a commercial client using Truist Treasury Manager, you don't actually have to worry about that static $500,000 limit. Truist dynamically assigns your corporate wire limits to be at least 50% higher than the largest wire you've processed in the past 18 months. Also, if you send international wires a lot, the data consistently shows that specialized remittance platforms like Wise or Xe often beat traditional bank FX margins. They offer transparent exchange rates that completely sidestep that $65 outgoing international fee and the 3% markup. Just a quick reality check here. As with all financial matters, the banking landscape constantly shifts. The fees and limits we've outlined today are based on Truist's current documentation, but you should always verify these specific details directly with your Truist banker before initiating a massive, life-changing transfer. At the end of the day, mastering this process isn't just about avoiding a few fees. It's about giving yourself the ultimate peace of mind in modern banking. Whether you are confidently closing on that dream home, funding your next big business venture, or supporting family across the globe, you now know exactly how to execute this flawlessly. So, with the power to securely move mountains of money right at your fingertips, what's your next big move?